All right, hello everybody. My name is Tanner Kyler, and today I'm bringing you a very cool specimen plant, which is the Tree Cholla, also known as Cylindropuntia imbricata. It is the Tree Cholla. These guys are native into New Mexico, into Mexico, over into Arizona. They like the high plains. They like cool, dry air in the winter months, and then they like dry, warm air during the summertime. So these guys are found all across the western part of the United States, particularly in the high plains. As you're approaching the Rocky Mountains into New Mexico, is where you'll start seeing them grow. Now they grow into Texas, into the panhandle of Oklahoma, down into Mexico, and they are a resilient plant. So I'm actually here in zone 6B, 7A, right on the border, northern Oklahoma. And I have one growing right here. Now this guy actually just grew in the ground for a few years, and now I have made a bed around it where we have agave and other things growing here. And all these large rocks are going to sequester heat throughout the day and then slowly release it back into the soil and the surrounding environment to keep this guy alive. So you can grow them into pretty cold regions, and whenever you look it up, it'll say that they're cold hardy down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit, and I know that's not true because they grow in zones 5A up in Taos, New Mexico, and some gardens that I've helped done around there, and they do amazing there. So they have these stunning magenta flowers here. They're also called desert roses. They're not actually the desert roses that people are used to that are from Socotra or the country of Yemen. Anyways, they have these stunning large, about 2 inches in diameter blooms, similar to a lot of cactus flowers here. Cylindropuntias are related to the opuntias. They are a subspecies that has started to get more columnar branching rather than the pad shapes that you see like right here on the prickly pear. So they are extremely drought tolerant. They can live and go months without water. They actually prefer to be dry throughout the winter months. So they can actually tolerate extreme cold temperatures as long as it has two things. It has well-draining soil. Here we have well-draining soil. What actually is rooted into the ground here, it isn't actually too well draining, but it's still surviving here. I've had this guy here for 2 years. An elderly man gave this to me. I was working at a botanic garden. He had a bunch of them, and he asked if I wanted them. Nobody wanted them. He couldn't sell them, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take some off your hands. And so I have it planted here. I have 4 or 5 planted over another area, but I'm just going to focus on this plant today. Now, these guys are known as the tree cholla because they get very large, one of the largest species of cholla you can find. In the wild, you'll see them grow between 6 and 8 feet out in the plains. If they're in better microclimates, if there's rocks around them, if they're on the sides of canyon, they can actually get up to 15 feet tall, so rather large for any cholla species. And they make really stunning plants. Now, there are a few things to consider whenever you're growing these. They have extremely sharp spines. This is probably the most dangerous plant. The Cylindropuntias or the cholla are the most dangerous of all cactus. This one has easily detached segments, and if you poke yourself with it, like I'm going to let myself do right now, ouch, well, it won't stick into me. Maybe it's because I don't want to stick it, get stuck by it. But they have reverted spines, similar to that of a porcupine. So, like a fish barb, they go backwards on the spine. I'll put a picture on the screen to show what that's like. And these guys will stick right into your skin and then break off into your skin, and it hurts very bad. So you want to be careful with them. They have a mild toxin, like most cacti do, on their stems and on their spines, but that isn't going to cause any issues unless you have an allergic reaction to them. So out here where that's growing, it's near a parking lot, and we park all our cars here, and it isn't a bad spot for it at all. It doesn't really bother anybody. It's here in the middle of the bed, so it's very easy to see. So if you're going to plant it out in a very sunny location. It doesn't like shade. If you put it in shade, it's not going to do that well. If it gets at least 6 hours of sun, it'll be fine. So part shade will be okay, but full shade, it'll die in. It won't be able to survive in that. It seems to be not very susceptible to pests. We get some cactus bugs on it, but they don't really seem to harm the overall health of the plant. Now, sometimes they'll make it less attractive by leaving little yellow scars all over the plant, but I don't even notice that here. Those mostly attack the opuntias, the prickly pear. So these guys are just an excellent, stunning plant if you live anywhere in zones basically 5B or south of that, and you can give it implemented soil and then get you some large stones like I'm sitting on here that are facing towards the south to attract some sunlight. They will slowly release that heat overnight, keeping them alive during the cold months. So the biggest thing that kills cactus, and the number one killer of cactus, isn't necessarily the cold. It is the moisture on the roots while it's cold. The cactus aren't able to grow or absorb the water, so it sits on the roots and it slowly starts to deteriorate and kill the cactus. So that goes for basically all the species that are growing in here. None of them really like roots that are going to be saturated in water. And that goes for all cactus. But this guy has a few other blooms. There's another bloom right here that's going to open up, and it's got two more down here that are lower. I'm seeing a ton of native solitary bees. Even though these aren't necessarily native to this area of Oklahoma, they do really well here, and they help out a lot of our pollinators. They're very deer resistant. Deer are not going to come around and try to munch on these guys with all their spines. That also makes them very human resistant. So you just need to be careful where you plant it. I wouldn't plant it, where all your kids are going to be playing. But if you have a large yard and you put it in the back in a sunny location, you don't want to water and stuff, maybe up against the back fence in the backyard, they aren't going to really harm anything. They get rather large. I think with the more water you get, they're normally going to grow that out. So in Stillwater, where I got this guy from, the guy who said he got it from a large cholla that was over 10 feet tall that was growing there. But that's about it for today's video. This is an extremely interesting plant, and I hope you enjoyed learning about it. I'm going to throw in some more clips of those flowers because they're just so beautiful, and I want to add them in here. With that, please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Subscribing really helps out this channel, helps it grow, it helps it prosper. And the end goal of this channel is to educate people and to hopefully make profits and be like a nonprofit to where we can take all the money that's ever made by this and put it straight back into restoration work and to buying and purchasing land and protecting the natural world, then turning around and then making more videos to educate people with. That's about it for today. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns, and we'll see you next time.